This will unlock the Bears. Some important notes among the injury nuggets as we approach the Week 7 game against the New Orleans Saints. Welcome to Bears Digest, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Dylan Guinzy. Thank you for joining me once again. If you have not subscribed already, please do so. We've been rocking and rolling over the last couple of weeks, but of course, if you have not subscribed yet, please do. 91% of watchers over the last 28 days are not subscribed. It's very easy. Hit that button and that bell, of course, to stay up to date on news, rumors, breaking information, everything that comes to us as Bears fans. We will be here with that. So today, guys, we are 2 days away now from the game against the New Orleans Saints. And as I said earlier in the week, I am very worried about this one. It is a classic trap game in the NFL. And I just am worried coming off of a big win on a short week. How do the Bears respond? How do they react? How do they play coming off of that, right? One of those big momentum changer swing games, especially on a Monday night game. Those are very tough to come back from and play the next week at a very high level. So I hope that Ben Johnson has his team prepared and they're different. But let me know what you guys think down below. Of course, I want to get all of your score predictions down below in the comments. What you guys think this game will turn out to be. We have the betting lines on here if you guys are interested in that. The Chicago Bears opened up as 5.5-point favorites. They are now minus 4.5. And against a 1-5 team, that tells you enough, right? They're playing good football, the Saints are, and it's probably going to be a closer game than we would like. So let me know down below what you guys think in terms of the game predictions and everything like that. We're going to discuss today, obviously, the final injury report and what everything has to do with that, who's playing, who's not playing on Sunday, and then how this team is going to get unlocked going forward, right? We're on a 3-game winning streak. There's a lot of things going our way, but how do we actually start getting up to our ceiling as a team, right? How does Ben's comments and Ben's way of coaching and the things that he's been saying that he wants to improve, how do we actually get there? So we're going to discuss some key points to this game and how we're going to unlock ourselves for this game to win this game this week. Of course, we got to focus 1 week at a time and then going forward as well. So we'll get right into it with the final injury report here today. Cairo Santos is going to be out for this game as we kind of expected. No reason to rush him back. It is another week of Money Man Moody. Jake Moody is kicking the stick this week, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully he continues that trend. Hope he does very well. The weather is looking a little bit rough for this game in Chicago. It's going to be windy and rainy, as you could expect for middle of October in that sense. Noah Sewell is out with that concussion. No surprise there. Grady Jarrett finally got back to limited practice. He hasn't played in quite a while. He is questionable for Sunday. Brad Biggs did release a tweet out that he was expecting Grady Jarrett to be ramping up right now, but it looks like they're holding him for Week 8 that I have seen there. DeAndre Swift, he said he's good to go, so he's going to be back in action, of course, after that big game on Monday night. Austin Booker got another full week of practice. Another note here, they don't have long to bring him back from IR. The last day that they can is next Saturday, I believe. They have a 21-day period. Next Saturday is right before the Ravens game. So I think they're kind of just ramping him up and getting him conditioned. I don't think he's going to play this week, but we'll see. I want him to because I feel like this is a good segue playing against the Saints, and you might be able to get some more pressure on these guys as opposed to next week against Lamar and the finally healthy Ravens. So I think it'd kind of be a good entry point for Austin Booker. So I hope he can get out there, but I'm not expecting him to, but we'll see how that pans out. We need some extra help on the edge. Travis Homer looks to be back to me. Amen's going to be back as well for special teams help. Jonah Jackson's good to go, veteran. He can deserve that rest and then play on Sundays. DJ Moore, full participant. He is fully good to go. And that is one of my keys for this week. If he is healthy and he's good to go, I want to get DJ Moore going. I want to get the ball in his hands more. He has earned much, much more respect, in my opinion, than he did previously. This guy was a warrior. He was battling on Monday. I am fully in the camp of do not get rid of DJ Moore, at least during this season. If you're going to do any big trades, it's got to be somebody else or draft picks. Because DJ Moore is really, really surprising me in terms of his body language, his effort, and his buying into Ben Johnson in the system. DJ Moore's always been on bad teams in his career. And I think maybe he senses that it's going in a good direction. I'm not sure, but DJ Moore has earned all the respect, and I think we should just pepper him with targets and get the ball in his hand as much as we can if he is healthy, because that guy deserves it 100%. So DJ Moore is playing, of course, and he is just one of those guys that's been always healthy. He is not a guy that misses games. And to come back here this week, and a short week too, that he didn't need to. He was in the hospital on Monday night. Didn't even get back home to see his family until Tuesday. And now we're 3 days later, and he's full participation in practice, and he's ready to rock and roll by Sunday. So, I mean, this guy is an epitome of a team player right now, a true warrior, and I want him to get peppered with targets, and I want to keep him on this team. I think if you need to free up cap space, more than welcome to go restructure DJ's contract to get more money. When you restructure guys' contract, that usually means that you're wanting to keep them here for the future because there's higher cap hits later on. I'm fine doing that with DJ. He's reliable. He's healthy. The best ability is availability, and he's always available. So happy to see DJ Moore back and him playing here this week. So Saints vs. Bears this weekend. We're going to talk about some things to unlock this game specifically, and then those carrying on to the rest of the year and how we can fully reach our ceiling in Chicago here. So keys to this game. Weather is going to be similar to what we saw in Washington on Monday night. The Saints are obviously a very tough team that plays hard, but they haven't come out with wins. They play worse on the road, of course, than they have at home, but the talent on their team is a lot less than the effort that they play. They play very hard. I feel like Kellen Moore's done a great job over there, especially with the offense and Spencer Rattler. They're playing well. This is kind of a revenge game for Dennis Allen, our defensive coordinator. So the first thing that I want to talk about for the key to this game is going to be winning the turnover battle yet again. The majority of the time, I think above 70% of the time in the NFL, if you win the turnover battle, you win the game. This game doesn't have to be a blowout, anything like that. It is a week-to-week league, and we just need to come away with the W. So, in my opinion, win the turnover battle. Right now, we are tied for first in the league in the turnover margin, and that is why we're above 500. You could just point right to that point right there. That's why we're above 500. So keep that going. Turnover margin right there. That's pretty obvious. Second thing, offensive consistency. I want to see more clock management. I want to see them running down the clock more. I want to see them eating into that time of possession. And I want to see this offense starting to click and be more consistent. I don't want to see a first quarter that's good, and then a second and third quarter that's horrific, and then a fourth quarter that's good. I don't want to see a first quarter that's bad and a second quarter that's good, and then third and fourth that's bad. Let's be more consistent, right? Let's not have all these choppy times of play. It doesn't have to be beautiful or perfect the entire game. Just more consistency. Every drive, let's get a couple of first downs. If it's not a scoring drive, can we get into a position till we punt and we pin them inside the 20 or inside the 10, right? Control the time of possession, more consistency on offense. Let's hit the easy stuff and continue to run the ball down their throats and playing bully ball. So that's number two. And I think both of those things can carry over to the full season. We do those things the rest of the year. Caleb's going to continue to progress. He's going to continue to understand the offense and get all of these guys involved. And that's going to overall just really raise this team's ceiling. Caleb needs to be a little bit better on the accuracy on the easy stuff. I feel like on the tough throws, he's been pretty accurate. And the easy stuff, the pitch and catch stuff, he's just been thinking a little bit too much. Maybe it's footwork. Maybe it's just one of those things, right? You're just thinking a little bit too much in your head, right? So he's got to be a little bit more consistent on the pitch and catch throws and the run after catch, getting DJ Moore in space, Luther Burden in space, and doing better at that. And I think getting the rookies involved too over the rest of the season here is going to unlock the team's ceiling, right? They're fresh legs. They're usually more healthy as they're continuing to understand the offense more. These guys are going to provide that young expertise, right? That teams don't have a bunch of film on either, especially Luther. He played 15 snaps on Monday Night Football, and he led the team in receiving yards. This guy is going to be a stud. him and Colston Loveland need to get the ball more. I think this week is a perfect week to start that off, and that's going to raise this team's ceiling as we move forward into the rest of the season. So, guys, big chance to double up our record here to get to 4-2 against the Saints. And this is a big one. I'm anxious. I'm nervous about it. I'm probably more nervous than last week just because I expected us to lose last week. When you go into a game and you expect your team to win, a little bit tougher because it's a big letdown spot. And especially, after that big win on Monday night, you're kind of in a trap game situation. So let me know what you guys think down below. We're going to take off tomorrow, Saturday the 18th. We're going to watch some college football. We're going to take a breather, and we're going to be right back at it with a post-game reaction after the Saints game. Very happy that the team is playing at noon finally. We get a noon slate for the next couple of weeks. I love that because if the Bears won or lost by the middle of the afternoon, and that's beautiful, right? You can either start your week happy or start your week sad, but at least you're not waiting until Monday and for that to happen. So, big game Sunday. Let me know down below your score predictions, of course, and we will be here right after the game as always, and anything breaking, we'll get there as well. But thank you for joining Bears Digest once again. As always, bear down.